August 8, 2026, the Ghana Students' Union Japan proudly presents the GSU Japan 10th Anniversary Symposium, the largest academic gathering within the Ghanaian community in Japan. Join students, researchers, professionals, entrepreneurs, and innovators from across Japan for a day of learning, networking, and collaboration. We are now accepting abstracts from all fields. Whether you are conducting research, developing innovative solutions, or driving change in your community, this is your opportunity to showcase your work and ideas. In addition, in partnership with the Just Born Group of Companies, the symposium will feature a business pitch session under the auspices of Green Japan, providing aspiring entrepreneurs with the opportunity to present their ideas and connect with potential partners. The day will conclude with a grand 10th anniversary dinner as we celebrate a decade of impact, excellence, and community. Abstract submission and registration deadlines have been extended to June 26, 2026, so don't miss your chance to be part of this historic event. Register today as an attendee, presenter, or business pitch participant. We look forward to welcoming you to Tokyo. See you there, and definitely don't miss out.
You ready? Let's go! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this.
And for those of us interested in business out in Ghana. And so we hope that you have a really relaxing time. This is the Ghana Students' Union, and we are a group of people, students who are studying here in Japan, and we are made up of members from all over Japan. So just feel free and relax and have a good time, and we hope that whatever questions you have will be answered. And feel free to connect with us later after this event. Thank you so much.
for quite some time now. And I also want to thank Dr. Florette and her team, the executives of the um, Ghana Student Union, for the effort in trying to always keep us abreast. I'm talking about the student body activities that are ongoing. I know that there is still room for improvement, but so far, I must say that the journey has been good. And we are hoping that in the coming days and coming years, we'll see more improvement to that. But just as a way of giving us a quick background on why we decided to have this engagement, was because we, at a point, we noticed that a lot of students, not only students, but even within the diaspora, a lot of people did not really understand what we do as an embassy. And so, you know, about having information is that if you don't know something, usually you are in ignorance, and sometimes you can also be angry out of ignorance and speak out of ignorance because you don't really know what the embassy's role is in the life of the diasporans or our compatriots. And so we, in one of the meetings, we decided that it would be better for us to have a session like this where we can, the embassy will use the opportunity to, educate us, and also inform us on what is the role of the Ghana embassy, not only in Japan, but worldwide. What are the roles that they perform in terms of supporting the Ghanaians in the diaspora. I'm sure in the news you've started seeing some of the things that Ministry of Foreign Affairs back in Ghana has been doing, and our role in bringing our Ghanaians from South Africa, with the recent issue in Canada concerning party, the role that the embassy is playing, the role that the foreign ministry. So I'm hoping that this session will be able to learn, and if there are questions still in your mind, you can actually ask, and I hope to be able to guide us. So thank you once again. I bring you greetings from our ambassador, our deputy ambassador as well, who they would have loved to join us, but because of their schedule. And so thank you once again. I acknowledge Mr. Jansen, if he's on the platform as well, who will be taking the second session. So I have a simple assignment. My assignment is to help us to understand the role of Ghana Embassy in supporting the diasporans. So can we move to the next? My name is Christopher Edem Kwegaba, Minister Councillor. So basically, the embassy um, in the Commonwealth regions, we don't call them embassies. We call them high commissioners, but it's the same thing. So whether it is Ghana Embassy, whether it is Ghana High Commission, it depends. In the Commonwealth regions, we call them Ghana High Commissions. But so the ambassador is not called ambassador in the where we have the Commonwealth regions. It's called the High Commissioner. And in the places where it's not a Commonwealth region, we call them embassies. And so I'm sure many of you may have come across that distinction where you hear High Commission, you hear embassy, and sometimes you're a bit confused. Now, the essence of the embassy or the High Commission, where it is to serve as a bridge between Ghanaians or Ghana and its citizens abroad. It's one of our cardinal pillars, even when we are recruited into the foreign service. So somewhere 16 to 18 years ago, when I was recruited into the foreign ministry, one of our mandates during our training is a 7 cardinal mandate, and one of them is to be able to serve as a bridge between Ghana and the citizens abroad. So even though we come here, we are supposed to serve you in the diaspora. That's our work. Okay, we are like your servants. And the reason why many governments are very particular about the diasporans or Ghanaians within the diaspora is because of the contribution that the diaspora makes yearly to our GDP. And so every government is very particular about the diasporans or Ghanaians or our compatriots who are in any part of the world, whether in Japan, whether in Singapore, whether in other parts of the world. So a strong embassy diaspora relationship works in two directions, as you can see the chart. So you have the Ghana, you have the embassy, you have the diaspora. So we are supposed to be the linkage between Ghana, what is happening in Ghana, and also what is happening in the diaspora. So, for instance, my role as minister counselor, as in charge of diaspora education and culture, what I do basically is to report on happenings within the diaspora to Ghana, that is our headquarters, and also at the same time carry reports from Ghana to the diaspora. So Dr. Ferret will tell you there are something happening in the mission that requires her knowledge as the GSU, or even Professor Ponsa, anything that concerns the Ghana diasporans, they are informed so that they can inform the rest of you. However, there has been a better improvement over the years when this administration has taken over. I'm talking about the GSU now, where there's a lot of collaboration. We are working together. There's more, where we collaborate a lot. And so our duty as an embassy is to, one, protect our Ghanaian citizens. So, for instance, a Ghanaian is found, like the typical example of what I was sharing with you of what is happening in South Africa. You can see the High Commissioner there, together with the staffs of the embassy, trying their possible best to register Ghanaians who want to be repatriated back home. And so, our duty is to protect you, okay? And also to connect with you. So, for instance, most of the time, when Ghanaians come to a territory or they go to some countries, um, they don't want to come and register with the embassy. They don't want to affiliate themselves with the embassy until they find themselves in a certain problem or in a certain situation. Then you see them running to us or telling the court or wherever they have the issue to contact the embassy. You see, once you reach your country, you reach the host country where you are going, whether in Japan, whether in Singapore, whether in London, whatever. But our focus is Japan. You are the first thing you are supposed to do as a Ghanaian is to touch base with your embassy, to register with your embassy, so that your embassy will know that you are in town. So, should in case anything happen at all, God forbid, at least they have tracked that you came into the system and you are in the system, and ABC, they can speak to that. But when you don't touch base, it's a bit difficult. But thankfully, we are also revising the way we reach out to the diaspora. And so if you go on our website and our socials, we've put registration forms where you can actually register, once you touch base in your country where you're coming to learn or whatever, and register so that we have your database, we have your details in our system. And so that is what we do. So we protect, we connect you, we try to connect with you, and we also try to mobilize. So how do we mobilize? The town hall meetings that we do. For instance, when I came to Japan, there were several Ghanaian associations. You go to Saitama, they have their association. You go to Soka, they have the Ghanaian association there. But we wanted to be able to bring all of them under one umbrella. And so in doing so, we had to, visit all the prefects and to bring them all under one umbrella to make our work easier. That's how come today we have Professor Ponsa who, then another role we play is to represent you. So there are consular issues where if a Ghanaian needs a representation in the court or something, the embassy can go and represent you there. And if there are any decision concerning, we can communicate to your family back home and all that. Now, if you look at the next slide, where it has gone. So the core embassy role or support in terms of documentation, protection, welfare. So, for instance, your passport and travel documents. Sometimes you can travel, and whilst you travel, your passport may expire. And so, our role as an embassy is to assist you with travel documents. Sometimes your passport can even get missing. And what do you do? Maybe you need to return back. So, with this a document we call TC, we give you a TC quickly so that you can, leave the country and go and formalize your documentation. So we do that. We also authenticate your documents, as you are aware. Um, we also help you with your dual citizenship. There are Ghanaians who are Japanese as well, who may want to obtain a dual citizenship. We facilitate that as well. Then, if there are emergency assistance, which I did mention, maybe serious illness, death, um, we also assist in that regard. Then we also try as much as possible to engage the community, professionals, as we do with the diasporians. Next slide, please. So, what does welfare look like in practice? We are looking at, so first of all, what we do is to first identify, citizens within the community, like Ghanaians. We try to verify because sometimes, unfortunately, we have a system where there are Nigerians, unfortunately, or other countries who have our passports. And sometimes you have issues where the immigration may come and lay complaints only for you to go and investigate and realize that most of the people are Nigerians or other nationals. So we try to verify and confirm your identity as Ghanaian. And we have our ways of doing that. Then we also try to connect with Japanese authorities. Okay. We make referrals, we facilitate business investments, we facilitate businesses from here to Ghana to Japan as well. We do advocacy and we try to resolve issues. Sometimes you'll be amazed. We do counseling as well. You may have couples within Japan who are Ghanaians who are having marital issues. You'll be amazed that they bring some of these issues here. We have to do counseling to counsel, them and all that. The next slide. So, for instance, as I did mention, um, our focus as an embassy is not just students, even though, yes, students, as part of my responsibility, we also see to students, in terms of scholarships, research, and other things. We try to facilitate and assist them. Now, our role as an embassy is to not only facilitating the JDS in terms of the scholarships, the government scholarships that brings most of you here. No, we are also supposed to help you, like visit you on campus, check on you, come to your graduation, which we do most of the time. We attend most of your graduations. During, for instance, on Monday, we have about 10 or 15 students from JDS who are coming to make their presentation on what they've learned and all that. So, and most times also when the students arrive, either JICA or DDS brings them to the embassy to show them to us that these are the new students that are in town and all that. And we do a lot of facilitation in the area of TV, digital skills. We try to solicit for scholarship for Ghanaians, back home and all that. There are quotas that are given to us by the government of Japan, but we try our best to keep negotiating, visit institutions, and see how best we can increase those quotas. You can go to the next slide. Then what we call economic diplomacy. As I said, every government is very particular about the diasporans. The reason because of the remittances you give, you send back home. It adds to our GDP. Okay. So and most of you go back home, you build, you have businesses, you know, and so the embassy's role is to always create avenues where you have information on issues of tax and other things that will enhance, whatever you are doing back home. Okay. And also create jobs and all that within Ghana, because most of you create jobs, you go back, you establish businesses and all that and help the economy. Next slide. So basically, in as much as we are trying our best to get investors and all that, we also try to do due diligence. So, for instance, the embassy, when business people come and we do a lot of due diligence. We verify partners, we do follow-ups, we do some of the things Mr. Jansen will talk about, some of the curated investment briefs, forums that we do just to get investors to Ghana. We also help in terms of providing data. Um, we do so many things with institutions back home. Okay, so our major role as an embassy is a lot of facilitation. We do a lot of facilitation. You can move to the next one. I will not be able to explain all, but I'll try my best. So then comes skill transfer, knowledge transfer, which you are aware, as I did mention. I mean, uh, as an embassy, we try as much as possible to assist to get some of the. Mr. Jansen will touch on that, so I will not belabor that. We try to get not just investment, but even knowledge transfer, skills transfer to Ghana, in several areas. For instance, we look at Japan, their disaster resilience, see how best we can introduce them to NADMO. We look at their school system in terms of their TVET and all that, try to connect them to our TVET back home, agriculture, food systems, health. We do all this. So sometimes it's not by magic when you see some of you come to Ghana, you see professionals coming to Ghana. Most of these uh, were engineered by the embassy, okay? Were engineered by the embassy, sent to your respective institutions before you were selected and you came here. Then let's go quickly. I hear my time is up. Then the cultural diplomacy, which you see us doing most of the time. For instance, you saw the Winneba Choir coming here, National Day that we celebrated at Okura, trying to sometimes our food festivals and all that. All this is to just we call it cultural diplomacy. Display our national identity to Japanese. For them to get to understand our culture, and once they are able to connect with our culture, it makes it easier for us to have cultural exchanges with them. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so as I did mention, um, most of these things that the embassy does has to do with a lot of work in terms of communication, data, because without trying to communicate these informations or trying to get data to communicate back to the diaspora and all that, we will not be able to achieve any results. So our role is to always keep collecting data, keep researching, keep trying to get data from institutions back home and see how best the ones that, relevant to the diasporans, we make sure that they get. That's why we try to have town hall meetings to always update those of you within the diaspora. Let's move to the next one. Now, the problem which I did mention earlier, is the trust issue. Sometimes um, those within the diaspora, they don't trust the embassy. Sometimes they feel that if they come and register and all that, if anything, they will send them back home and all that. So there are issues of trust where sometimes people don't want to really come and register at the embassy. Let's go to the next one. So, what are some of the challenges that we face as an embassy? Sometimes demand and capacity. Sometimes we're overwhelmed. Sometimes we don't have the adequate staff. Sometimes data gaps, misinformation, as I did mention. Sometimes people don't have information about what we do. And so the little thing they say, oh, the embassy. The little thing they say, oh, the embassy. Because they don't have much information about what we do and all that. Let's go on to the next slide. So, what are some of the opportunities in Japan that, when we are sent as diplomats, we concentrate on? We look at areas of education, like what I do, trying to get scholarships, partnership, research exchanges. We look at businesses, how to take business where, and Mr. Yancy will be talking about technology, in terms of agri-tech, quality system. We do all this just to get some of these technologies back home. Culture, through cultural diplomacy, what you saw. The Santrophy, for instance, we are partnering with Minion. It's all part of cultural diplomacy, public image, trying to, our 6 March, for instance, an example, community welfare, where we bring the community, try to see how best we can have town hall meeting, discuss issues concerning Ghana and all that. Let's go on to the next one. So these are some of the desks at the embassy. So we have the consular desks. The consular desk also serves as the welfare desk. The diaspora desk also serves as the welfare desk. We have the student and skill desk, which I handle. We have the business and investment, which Mr. Jansen handles. Then we have the culture and identity desk, which I handle. Data communication, which I also handle, and other offices. So we have several desks in the embassy and roles that we play. Next slide. So these are some few recommendations that we can work together to improve, build trust among the embassy and the diaspora. Launch thematic opportunity forums, trying to hold at least quarterly diaspora meetings as we are doing. Create a diaspora register, which is ongoing and all that, so that we can improve how we work together with you. The next one. So, what Ghanaians in Japan are supposed to do? So, if you're a Ghanaian, a student, and you are in Japan, these are the things you're supposed to do. You need to register with the embassy, okay? And after registering, so that if there are any crises or anything, we can always reach out to you. If there's going to be an earthquake, something is going to happen, or an earthquake happens, we can reach out to you. Then within the diaspora, we can share skills and opportunities among ourselves. No one person is a repository of all. So at least Dr. Floret will have some opportunities or know of some opportunity we can share among ourselves. If you separate yourself and you are in somewhere, nobody will know you, and you may not get. Then when you have issues with the Japanese laws, the embassy is there to step in and assist you. So if you separate yourself, we can't do that. Then you are supposed to also join the association. So if you're a student, you're supposed to be part of the Ghana Student Association or the Ghanaian Association and all that. Then we also expect constructive feedback, where you are not just accusing us all the time. Embassy for the baby, I wish embassy no would be a seeker. It should be constructive feedback so that it will help us, so we can do better. Okay, the next one. I'll just go to the next one. I don't want to belabor you. Okay, so basically, this is our role. We protect, we connect, we promote, and we also partner with you. Thank you. I think that'll be all. Um, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just unmute yourself and ask. Such a short time, so we are sorry for
Oh no, it's
making
fine.
you rush through your presentation.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about some students uh, came to Japan on their own. They privately sponsored themselves to come and study. I want to find out what is the embassy doing to take care of those students as well, as far as they are also Ghanaians who have been able to sponsor themselves to come and do studies here to go back to Ghana for the development of Ghana.
Okay. Thank you very much. Uh, should I do it by question, or I take a series of questions and I answer them?
Which one is more comfortable? Are you able to collate all the questions?
I don't mind doing one by one. Also,
Okay, please. So, if you have a question, also don't just unmute yourself. Kindly and stop your video as well, and then so that we can see you and say hi.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Next time I will, I will do that.
okay, so just to answer our brother, one thing we need to understand about the role of the embassy, as I did mention, it's not just once you are a Ghanaian, you are our responsibility. Now, that responsibility, we need to, let me bring the dichotomy. Let us be clear that that responsibility does not mean we giving you money. No, we are here to serve you, but it's not in terms of, oh, coming to you and say, we have money from government of Ghana, please take. No. So our role is to protect you, make sure you are safe. If you see the embassy giving out any resource in terms of money to individuals or Ghanaians who are stranded or have challenges, usually it comes from individual pockets. It comes from staffs, officers who are benevolent, and we contribute money just to support people within the diaspora. But most of the time, we don't really have a budget where Accra gives us a resource and says, okay, you have this budget devoted for the diasporans, so please make sure that when somebody has a challenge or somebody has a problem, we've been fighting for it. The ministry used to have the diaspora unit, but now it has been dissolved. Now it's at the presidency, where the office of the president has a whole unit for the diaspora. So to answer our brother, yes, they are Ghanaians. So once they come into the system, they have our responsibility. So for instance, if you are a private student who have come and you are in touch with us and you send us an invitation and say, oh, I'm graduating on this day. If the embassy doesn't, the officers don't have prior engagement, why not? We will come, come and support you, make sure that you have a backing so that people within the school knows that your embassy has fully represented. We are there to support you and make sure that our presence is felt as an embassy, So you are our responsibility. It doesn't matter whether you came here on your own or not. That's why we advocated that register. Keep us abreast, with whatever you are doing here. It helps. You never know. Okay. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Perfectly so. Thank you so much for the answer. I'm grateful.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any more questions for Mr. Gaba? Hi. Okay, we can hear you. It's fine. Thank you.
We haven't really seen their presence, but I think this year we felt more of their presence in our activities. So we are really grateful. My question is, I want to know to what extent the embassy is open to us. Like, is it free that students can just like walk in, like, or are there any restrictions? And are there any like programs that the embassy organizes, like let's say end of year Christmas party or something for all Ghanaian students or something like that? And the other one is just a follow up, just like the question my the person who just asked like for mixed students, I know that it's the Japanese government that is sponsoring us, right? But there was this thing in my time when I was coming that I arrived at the airport alone and I didn't know anybody, didn't know any Japanese. And my professor just said, take the bus to Kofu. And I don't know Kofu, I don't know what Japanese is, I don't know how to use Google Maps. So I don't know if the embassy, in a way, has a database of the number of Japanese Ghanaian students coming into the country every year, or if there's anything that is done about it. Because I know for JICA scholars, JICA sends representatives to pick up the students from the airport. But for mixed students, we just arrive there and they say, come to the school, and we don't know. Like, so I don't know if there's anything that the embassy can do about that. And my last question is about the passports. That if our passports expire here, how long does it take to renew? And then like yeah, how long does it take to renew? Sorry, my camera is not clear, but my name is Stella and I'm from University of Yamanashi. Okay.
Okay. So Stella, thank you for your question. Um, Concerning activities, now this is one of the ways the embassy operates. The embassy is supposed to be devoid of anything that is of profiting. So, for instance, we don't engage in any activity where sales are concerned, or activities that generate. For instance, we have to sell products and engage in. No, so we don't do that. We work with stakeholders. So, for instance, stakeholders mean that GSU is a stakeholder because they handle students. The Ghanaian Association is a stakeholder. Okay, JICA is a stakeholder. They all, are stakeholders. Now, concerning activities, all of them are routed through these stakeholders. So, for instance, Professor Ponsa every year will share activities planned for the Ghana Association. Okay, and this year Dr. Florent also started it. She also came, shared their activities of GSU, what they plan to do. Now, the challenge we have, which we have had, which we are trying our best talking to our governments back home, is, and that is where the misconception and the misinformation is, that embassy for they say organization there be and to them. The issue is that we don't have funding for such activities. So even when the organizations like GSU come and say, we want to hold a party, we want to hold this activity, Ghana Association, most of the time is the staffs within the embassy who will say, oh, these are compatriots. Why don't we come together? Let's come with something small and let's donate and let's support. Okay? So we don't organize those parties. No, is that associations that come. Our mandate doesn't go beyond that. What we do is called town hall meetings, and even the town hall meetings, which we call the diaspora town hall meetings, like what we are doing. If we're going to have an in-person town, most of the time it is organized by the Ghanaian Association, and we support from the background. And most of that support, I'm telling you, that does not even come from funding from Accra. We will write to Accra seeking for even approval for us to even support with some money. It doesn't come. That's the challenge we have. You see, so but if you don't know that, you'll be like, this embassy cry, what's their problem? They are not helping, they don't organize anything for no. The associations are supposed to do that. Then we support from the background with what the little we can. So in time past, let me give you an example. In time past, the former ambassador, this is what she used to do. She was entitled to a certain entertainment fund. And out of her own entertainment, when the association are having such programs, she would dedicate that money and she would sponsor the food and drinks so far as those meetings are concerned. And that was how she kept the associations afloat. But it's not like there is a fund where the embassy has and is supposed to, organize activity. No. One of the ways Dr. Florette will tell you that we also assist is that we can give recommendations. So if Dr. Florette comes and says, "Oh, students want to host this program," the embassy can give a letter of recommendation and say, "Okay, we support this program. If you have sponsors who can sponsor, why don't you go there? We can give you a recommendation letter and go and solicit for fund." You understand? But there is no fund that you're there to they've put it aside that, oh, this one is for organizing some jamboree or some. No, we don't have that. So that's one aspect of your question. Then MEST. You see, the challenge about MEST is that because it is something in the public space, I don't know how to explain. Like JICA, if you look at JICA and the other scholarships, they work a lot with us, the embassy. But MEST, you normally apply and you are given the scholarship. So we don't have that data. I must be very sincere, we don't have that data. And I recall that even before I took up my role at the embassy, I went to have a meeting with the ambassador of Japan in Ghana. And I recall that time, I even told him that if I could have those data, and Japanese are very particular about data protection act. So any data that has to do with your citizens, even though it's your citizens, they will never give it to you unless that person officially writes to them and say, give this data. So they didn't even provide that data. We had to write to Ghana immigration to provide us with some of this data. So we don't have the data. That's why we always advocate that if you get a MES scholarship, the first point is the embassy. So you can alert the embassy through our social media or through our website or through our email and say, "Oh, I'm a MES scholar. I'm coming to Japan on so dates, and these are my itinerary." As I said, we will engage you if the embassy does not have prior engagement. Because remember when I was giving the presentation, I said that sometimes the challenge we have is constrained with officers because officers are overwhelmed, they have work to do, they have prior engagement. And if there's no prior engagement, there's an officer on standby and you are arriving. Why should you arrive alone and be stranded? We can be there to give you our support and make sure that you are comfortable. Make sure that at least if we can go with you to your destination, we can direct you and say, "Oh, take this train, do A, B, C, D, and get here." So that's why we keep telling you that once you get the admission, your first point of call is to talk to the embassy. Once you talk to us, we will get back to you with all the information you need to guide you. If we cannot, that's why the gist you. So we will refer you to the gist because remember I told you that one of our roles is facilitation. So we will refer you to Dr. Florette and say, "Oh, there was a gentleman in Niigata, but a different university, and he wanted some information." Immediately, I sent Dr. Florette's number to him. You see, so what did I do? I just facilitated. You see, so that is our core mandate. That is our work. Then your passport, yes, your passport. If it expire, we can do it for you within 3 weeks, a month at least. You should have your passport once everything is okay. Then, in terms of coming to the embassy is your home. You can walk into the embassy any day, any time. The only challenge is that you may not be able to see the ambassador if the ambassador already has a prior engagement. But you can walk in and say, I want to talk to the ambassador as a Ghanaian. And if the ambassador doesn't have any work to do or is free and has some time, he is obliged to honor your coming and come down and say, hello, how are you? There's nothing wrong. The ambassador, together with the officers, I must be very sincere, we are all here to serve you. That's our responsibility. But if there are engagement, the ambassador may not see you, but there may be an officer designated to come down and check on you. Hello, which university are you and all that. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, please, you have. Thank you so much. I just have one comment though that for the parties, maybe since there's no funds, we know that at least if it's Christmas there, maybe you have some staff party or something there. Please throw invites to the students so that those of us who can will just pass by. Because I think it's very important that at least we have a way of passing by the embassy at least once a year or something. That's my humble suggestion. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Stella, Mr. Gaba, for answering the questions. In the comments, and Martin is asking, we the MEX students embassy stroke recommended not to register with the embassy. How do we proceed? How do we proceed?
There is a link Dr. Frank can share with you. I can also share with you after the meeting. But if you go on our socials, you see the link there.
Okay.
You can click on it, then you can register. So far, we've had about, since we put it there, we had over 200 people registering. So we are still counting. So you can go there, register. If you don't have the link, just see Dr. Floret.
Okay.
And she will provide you with the link.
All right. So thank you so much. Our time for questions and answers. You have a question?
The expired passport. And secondly, because he said there's challenges with funding, like you don't have designated funds for activities, so for most of your activities here in Japan from Ghana, and looking at one of the challenges that the Stella raised about the MEX student, and you said a lot of things, but I think to me, I noticed a particular way, like we can. So to me, sounds like it's possible, but it's not. It doesn't carry a weight of uh, we can rely on the embassy for that service all the time, or for anyone to receive. And secondly, too, is there like a designated desk in the embassy that kind of handle those kind of challenge in terms of like the mess to them, receiving them at the airport and helping them with their logistics and their movement? So thank you.
No, that's why I did mention that best scholarship, because it's an open source. When I mean open source, they put the thing out there. There are two ways of the MES scholarship, either from here or from Ghana. To the schools here, so we don't have that data. So once you get the admission, you should touch base with the embassy through its communication channels. Now, when you do that, what I'm trying to say is that, I'm trying to be diplomatic, not to commit myself, because when I mean commit myself, what I'm trying to say is that, yes, you are a priority. But don't forget is that the embassy also has responsibilities. Okay, so but maybe by the time you reach out, let's assume you reach out on Monday and you are coming on Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday, the president of Ghana is in town, a minister is in town. There's work, there's something going. So maybe the officer may not, the embassy may not be able because maybe there's designated their vehicles and everything that is, seen to that program and all. Then you are coming. So what the embassy can do is that because you've touched base, the officer is so responsible enough to still be chatting with you. So even if you get to the airport, what about Drew? Okay, where are you now? How best the president is in town. The vice president stuff. I may not be able to come. The embassy we can't come, but is there somebody there I can talk to? Okay, please give your phone to the person. He's going to Niigata. He's going to this place. Please, can you guide him? You see, so at least you know the embassy is playing a role. If there are no such activities, the embassy staff is so responsible enough to move a vehicle, come to the airport, receive you, at least even say hello, hi, then direct you to where you are going. I don't know whether I've answered your question. Then when it comes to the passport, yes, there. When you're renewing, when you go on our website, there are requirements of the documents that you are supposed to provide in case you are renewing your passport. If it's a first applicant type, where maybe the passport is missing, also what you're supposed to provide. All of them, when you go on our website and you go to the consular section, it is there. But most of the time, when you are renewing your passport, is usually you fill the form plus your old bio data, your your picture. That is your passport size picture, and that is it. Okay. And if there is any additional documents that you didn't provide in the first one that you want, to reflect in the passport, and you add those ones. But I don't know if I've answered your question, Tete.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much.
So that's why I didn't want to commit and say, oh, we will come there. Then when you arrive and we are not there, then you are like, oh, Mr. Gaba deceiving. The embassy always is busy. There are delegations coming. For instance, this week, for instance, we are going to be receiving 2 ministers. There are delegations in town, and sometimes logistics-wise, we may not have all the logistics to come there and pick you. And if I say, oh, we'll come and pick you, then we are not there. Then it's like I deceived you. But I am the officer. If I'm even on leave, I will hand you over to somebody else to also take care of you and make sure that at least you are guided, even if it's through phone call. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I think last one. I've seen the registration form and it looks like it's a PDF you need to fill and send manually. Is it true?
No. You just fill it online and send. Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Time for the first session is far gone, but we can still make something out of it. So it's time for announcements. Mr. Nee would give us announcements, and while that is happening, I think we can do the two at the same time. Can we all let our videos on, and then we can take a group picture? Okay, sure. Okay, sure.
On August 8, 2026, the Ghana Students Union Japan proudly presents the GSU Japan 10th Anniversary Symposium, the largest academic gathering within the Ghanaian community in Japan. Join students, researchers, professionals, entrepreneurs, and innovators from across Japan for a day of learning, networking, and collaboration. We are now accepting abstracts from all fields. Whether you are conducting research, developing innovative solutions, or driving change in your community, this is your opportunity to showcase your work and ideas. In addition, in partnership with the Josbon Group of Companies, the symposium will feature a business pitch session under the auspices of Green Japan, providing aspiring entrepreneurs with the opportunity to present their ideas and connect with potential partners. The day will conclude with a grand 10th anniversary dinner as we celebrate a decade of impact, excellence, and community. Abstract submission and registration deadlines have been extended to June 26, 2026, so don't miss your chance to be part of this historic event. Register today as an attendee, presenter, or business pitch participant. We look forward to welcoming you to Tokyo. See you there, and definitely don't miss out.
It's going to be different. We are going to have it in person. It's going to be made up of two sessions. We'll have the academic session and we'll have the business session. So for the academic session, it's open to students, non-students, people in the Ghanaian community within Japan who have some ideas or who have done some research or who just want to show us some findings um, related to academics. And then we also have the business pitch session where people who have ideas and want to translate them into business are given the opportunity to pitch their business ideas to judges. And we'll also have some investors coming in as well in case someone is interested in your idea. And so these two sessions will happen at the same time on the 8th of August in Tokyo. And so Ghana Students Union members and members of the Ghanaian community in Japan, we entreat you all to register. We'll put in the link to submit your abstract down in the chat. Our deadline was last Friday, but we've extended it to 26 June. 26 June. And so please make sure you submit your abstracts for the academic or the business part. I understand that a lot of our members are outside of Tokyo, and there are some that are concerned about accommodation and tickets. We are trying to get sponsorship. If we are able to, we'll offer travel grants and accommodation for those coming. So just have faith and just submit your abstracts, and then we can plan accordingly. And so also for our big brothers, our mothers, our fathers and uncles, aunties within the Ghanaian community, will be knocking on your door soon for sponsorship. So we hope that you will hear us out when we call on you. Finally, GSU, we have our social media accounts, Instagram, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook. So please take your phones now and follow us on social media. Just look for Ghana Students Union Japan and you find us there for all our updates. So please, it's time for our pictures. Please turn on your videos if possible, and let's take a picture, and then we'll move into the second session. So thank you very much. We have a few more people to go. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, so Papa, you ready? So when I say 3, 2, 1, you smile, and then we'll take it in two sessions so that we can capture everyone on the screen. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, Papa, you good? Okay, so should I say 3, 2, 1? Okay, 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, the next group. I don't know who the next group is, so let's all smile. Anyway, okay, so please smile again. I'm so sorry for making you smile too much. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you so much. So we are moving on to the second session. So Eugenia, please take over.
address us. Yeah, I think he's ready. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My invitation to this program was very short. So don't worry if I don't present, how do you call it, like Mr. Gaba did, but I have a brief write-up. I want to share, but I'm not very conversant with some of this sharing things. So I don't know. I should click share and then go to the how do you call it?
Yeah.
So I go to my but anyway, can I let me see.
Yeah, it's working, I think. Almost.
Okay, I'm going to the I'll share now. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, this is what I have for now. I believe all of you are seeing it on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So my topic, I think the topic you gave me is more or less a thesis. Because I say I'll delve into it, means I have to do a lot of research. But my name is Isaac Youngson, and I'm a trade officer from the Ministry of Trade attached to the embassy, and I'm responsible for trade and investment. My mandate is to make sure that we promote trade between Japan and Ghana, and also win investment opportunities for Ghana. I'm also a technology student because I did my master's in economics of technology. So I know a bit of aspects of technology and innovation processes and how to probably help a company in terms of its aspects of technology if the company wants to start advice on the technology that it, because you don't just start a business and then put anything anyhow. You just have to know, even have the assimilation of the technology itself is one aspect of the business. The people using the technology must be able to understand what they are doing and how they are the operation is good. Some people will bring the technology, but even to get the people to man those technology comes another issue. So you have to find experts from very far away to come and mine your technology. So Japan is a technology-driven economy that has supported Ghana with novel technologies that has promoted significant industrialization. Because of the technology aspect of Japan, we are very fortunate to be here to ensure that we share those technologies with Ghana, because that's where we have the raw materials and that is where we need those technologies. But unfortunately, it's the reverse. The raw materials are rather moving here, and then the technology is rather staying, and raw materials are rather moving. So this is one of the reasons why strategically our government is trying to move away from raw material to processing. And if you can recall, cocoa now, if you want to buy cocoa, if you produce cocoa in Ghana, half must stay in Ghana. So now we have to try to win some companies who can go to Ghana and then process it, the rest of the 50% of the cocoa. Quite recently to scrap metals. I'll tell you something about our imports and exports from Japan. In 2025, our exports from Ghana to Japan was 434.67 million US dollars. And the exports from Japan to Ghana was $156.4 million. Out of this, cocoa was the most prevalent. Cocoa was the most prevalent. Out of the $470,000 total exports from Ghana to Japan, $434 million were cocoa beans. Then cocoa preparations, cocoa butter. The cocoa beans was the most prevalent. The rest you can see 470 minus 134. You can just judge for yourself. Out of even this, 80 million was for copper and 7.52 billion was for aluminum. So the rest you can do thousands, $50,000, $150,000 and co. So it goes on us to up our game and ensure that some of these horticultural products find its way to Japan, and then we trade efficiently. But I don't blame ourselves because the rules and then the regulations binding these things are so much that to be able to bring these things to Japan is another hurdle. But that's another thing we'll talk later. So comparatively, Japanese businesses presence in Ghana in 2020 is only 24. We have Japanese presence, meaning if we take like Lotte, Marubeni, the presence of companies in Japan, in Ghana, their presence is 24. 61, 103, 155 in Morocco, Kenya, and South Africa. Why? Because most of these companies in Africa is very far. So they want to pitch in South Africa and then try to distribute their sales to the rest of Africa. But Ghana is the center of the world, and our policies are so good that we need to embrace some of these companies so that we can also have most of these companies coming to Ghana. So I don't blame South Africa by saying, because most of these companies are moving there, they are more moving to Ghana, so they are fixing their country. Sorry to bring that one in. So this is it. The business presence, we have only 24 as at the beginning of 2025. But we are developing policies like the auto policy and other enabling business environments to bring in more companies to Ghana. And as a mission, we are also engaging some of the businesses. As we speak, there are already 2 businesses in Ghana, one in fertilizer and the other in Zenshu company. They want to move some Japanese processed food. Zenshu is into the value chain from the farm to the how do you call it, end products. So they are in Ghana now, and they are the ministry of Food and Agriculture. And if God willing, we may have a Japanese company in the food sector in Ghana very soon. So Mr. Gaba was talking about our mandate as an investment. So we collaborate with MMDAs and MDAs in Ghana. We have challenges because most of the time you need to meet some deadlines, but these ministries, MMDAs, will not be forthcoming with what we need, and sometimes we lose some of our opportunities. But we thank God, and now my ministry have brought forth the foreign coordinating unit, which is going to coordinate these things so that we can strengthen some of these relations with the MMDAs. We also engage ministries, agencies, institutions in Japan as well, like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of METI, JICA, how do you call them? Japan Overseas Investment. So many of them we engage. Even sometimes when we want to have a program in Ghana, we call Japan Overseas Investment, and they put it on their website for most of their members to know that maybe we are doing a program in Ghana. So our collaboration is very strong, and we need to upscale it so that we can have win-win situations with some of these institutions. And most of the institutions that have a database of companies that we can match with that of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. So Ghana is strategically located in West Africa and could serve as a vantage point for production distribution to the rest of Africa. And these are some of our top 5 products that we bought from Japan. Quite recently, we had some people coming to Japan. They want to institute a pre-shipment kind of assessment of vehicles from Japan, and also pre-shipment inspection of vehicles from the second-hand vehicles from other countries with the left-hand drive. But we also told them that looking at our trade data, vehicles is the top in Japan. Out of 156 million, how do you call it, dollars of goods exported from Japan to Ghana, $92.03 billion were vehicles. So you can just imagine if you say we shouldn't export right-hand drive again to Japan, to Ghana, the way we are going to lose some critical jobs both in Ghana and Japan. Some people have been in this business for over 30 years. And if you say they should stop, where do they go? So we spoke to them that they should think about it carefully, how this thing is going to be done. But I don't blame them. What brought all these things, these Voxy vehicles having accidents so much in Ghana. So I don't really blame them. But let's see what happens when these policies are put in place. So vehicles, rubbers, machinery, man-made staple fibers, fish, crustaceans, aquatic invertebrates. These are the top exports to Ghana, and imports to Japan are cocoa and cocoa preparations, copper, aluminium, electrical and electric equipment, wood and articles of wood and wood charcoal. So these are the top exports from Ghana to Japan. Like I was saying earlier on, cocoa beans, cocoa butter, and other aspects of cocoa are the most prevalent imports from Ghana to Japan. We need to recycle these things so that we could be able to export more non-horticultural products, because horticultural products are most prevalent within the West African sub-region. But if it comes to a wider, like the European and then the Asian markets, we don't go very far. So we need to strengthen the way what efforts we are being put in place to promote exports to these products too. Japan. So Japan students in Japan could join resources for the purchase of equipment to initiate production process of their choice by targeting sectors that could take advantage of value additions. And I know certain students who have been here, they've got many jobs, they exported 2 cars to Ghana. One of them could have bought a machine that could simply turn dried pepper into powdered pepper for export. Could get simple machines that can turn something into something else. So it's just an advice that if the will is there and you could source any machinery, any equipment that you think may help you back home, because here is the hub of technology. And once you are able to search and get something that can turn around the raw material in Ghana, I think you start from somewhere before you find a job in the sector that you may be in the health sector, but you may be controlling maybe not oil production somewhere in the Western region, or how do you call it, charcoal production somewhere in the Eastern region. So students must also not think that we are students, so we don't have the money. Take every opportunity, and then as you move around, you meet certain opportunities. You could even be an agent for a company because these people believe in trust. When they trust you and they believe, they had a belief, you could do anything for them. So as we move along, it's not only the learning, but then also looking around for opportunities that can maybe even bring you back as a business person responsible for some companies who may need your help. Okay, so this could be the areas. This could be in areas such as rice milling machines to process rice, agents for some fertilizer companies, and value additions for almost all the horticultural products. And when we talk about horticultural products, is value addition to products other than gold, timber, the traditional exports like timber, gold, and the rest. These are the traditional, but non-traditional. These are the horticultural products. So we'll think about how best we can get a particular commodity. When I was in Ghana, I knew a certain lady who was just into charcoal production. She exports charcoal to one of the European countries, and she was a service personnel, and you could see that even we workers were nowhere near, although she was a service personnel. So there are a lot of avenues and channels that you can. So don't just be on your books. Also try to fish around so that you could be able to get certain support somewhere that can turn around something for you when you live here as a student to Ghana, because it's not easy getting jobs. Apart from we who are already in the ministries, already in some organizations, and you are going back to work within these organizations. But then you could also use this as another source of income when you leave here from Japan to Ghana, so that you could be an investor. So you put in something to generate something for creating some employment and then getting money for yourself as well. So each region in Ghana has economic raw material that needs serious value addition technologies, and it behoves on us to identify these economic raw materials in the various districts to attract the requisite Japanese technology that could be suitable to add value to these raw materials. And a lot of people are also diving into these Chinese technologies because some of them think these equipment are on the lower side. Of course, yes. The Japanese always build their technologies not looking at the low grade, but of a high quality. But the Chinese can grade their machines into maybe 3, 4, 5 different qualities. And depending on your money, you could afford the lower end. So once we are here, let's just look around and then engage ourselves with some of the organizations that have database of some of these companies that produce equipment and machinery, like the UNIDO. They have a database of companies that are into machine production. And that is why they were able to send recently a company to Ghana to put in a new technology by providing a technology called the stain technology. They have that technology that can pave the way, like our cocoa roads. But these are roads that can stand the test of time for so many, over 50 years. They are not paved, and the way they do it, it's not dusty, and it's very solid. And I learned there are certain communities in Japan that have that kind of roads even to date. So some of these institutions, JICA, UNIDO, and Co, have businesses that produces machines that we can rely on. So I was in the Central Western region as a regional trade director for 9 years before I came here. And we were dealing with raw materials of economic value. And likewise, all the other regions had raw materials of economic value that we were put into a database as raw materials that we can add value to. And some of these are taking my side from the Western region, virgin coconuts. I have a friend who was working with the Bank of Ghana, and he had, I think, is it diabetes or something, a disease, and someone advised him to drink virgin coconut oil for some time, and he got healed. So along the line, he was able to channel some of the monies that he got in from the Bank of Ghana into a company. So now he produces, if you go to Ghana, you see Ava oil, Ava virgin coconut oil, then it's that guy's company. And it's become so successful because he was able to channel the resources. He said he wanted to help humanity. He wanted to help people also who may have such problems. So he built a factory in the Western region, and we supported him, giving him guidance, and now he's able to export to Nigeria and other countries. So these resources are embedded in almost all the regions. You need to have the technology around these resources: oil palm processing, cocoa processing, fertilizer from the husk of coconuts. The coconut, the husk, the green husk, can be turned into fertilizer, which I also know of a company in the Western region that is supplying cocoa bud. This once you don't even put sand, you just put a little on the ground, add the seed, and it germinates. Yes, so these are some of the potassium. Cocoa itself can give potassium, ash. We have rice milling, cassava processing, value addition to minerals as gold. So let's also delve into some of the regions and the kind of resources they have, that we can also look around for some, how do you call it, some equipment that can process these raw materials into final products. Bamboo processing is one area that is very good. We have a lot of bamboo in Ghana. What are we doing with this? We are using it to build. When somebody wants to flow his building, he goes for 400 bamboo sticks, 200 bamboo sticks, and they're just there. A Chinese come to Ghana and see a bamboo lying down, and it's like, it's going crazy. Why is bamboo? Because it's something that they cherish. Bamboo, they have large plantations of bamboo, because they can turn bamboo into plywood, into paper. They even eat it as they cook it. When they shoot small on the ground, they can turn it into food. So it's something very important for the Chinese. But we don't have the technology around it. So we just, when I was in the Western Big, a Chinese company came. They wanted to turn. They did a test run. We took him to the chief. There was a MOU signed, everything, and not knowing they wanted to do Galamsey. So in the end, the chief didn't allow them. So they abandoned. And they know the technology. So the thing, all the equipment got rusted. And to date, we couldn't find where they are to date. So these are critical areas that let's search for some of these raw materials and how we can match it to some of the equipment available. Then we can build around it and then be sure that we get some income out of it. A lot of companies are coming from China, and because they have some money, they are building this 1D, 1F. Majority of the companies are Chinese. Majority of the companies are Chinese. Because where I was in the Western region, we do periodic visiting of the companies of the 1D, 1F. And most of them that we visit are Chinese companies, ceramic, tiles, and all these Chinese companies, rubber processing, there's a whole lot of them are Chinese companies. So as a country, we need to fix our country. We need to mobilize the resources to fix some of these things, because the raw materials are there, but the money and the technology to turn around these things is sometimes a problem. So that is why we see other people, even some of the countries, they come as a team. They gather resources, come as a team, and they come and take over some of these things. But we as a country, we Ghanaians ourselves, most of the time think that a one-man business is all that we need, because we fear, we don't want collaboration, we don't want to put resources together as a team. That is one aspect of the Ghanaian society that is killing us. Because if we mobilize resources, we'll be able to turn around most of these resources to stay in the country, for the money is generated to stay within the country. So the country has a record of deliberate policies that has created an enabling environment that seek to make these production processes much easier. Some of which are the creation of the free zones and economic free zones and economic zones. And then that cushions the interventions in the value addition process and the source of export opportunities. So majority of the companies that come in go under the free zones because their investments are secured, and the free zones allow them to import their raw materials, their machinery duty-free. Then when you also produce for the first 10 years, depending on where you are, you will not pay any tax. So it makes a lot of these companies venture into the free zones concept. And most important aspect of the free zone is that it's not only for foreigners, also for Ghanaians. And you can be outside the free zone enclave to operate as a free zone company. You can be in Tamale, you can be anywhere, and then you can be operating as a free zone company, irrespective of the fact that you are not within the free zone enclave. So I think that when you delve into something and it becomes successful, you can think of maybe going under the free zone concept to be able to export. But the only disadvantage is that you export 70% of your products and then 30% you sell locally. If you are not ready to export 70%, you cannot be a free zone company. So that's the only challenge. So you must be export driven. You must have the channels to export. And surprisingly, export promotion also have the men who can help you source external markets when you want to be a free zone company. So certain organizations like the United Nations Development Organization, Japan External Trade Organization, SME Agency, Japan, the Japan International Trade, JICA, have over the years provided support for promoting technology innovators to seek the merging opportunities with investors to promote some of this production and value addition to raw materials. So like we working with the UNIDO program, they have a database of some companies that produce some okay, my time is up, so I'll run it up. So UNIDO, Jetro, other companies have some database of companies that delve into technology, so we can contact some of these people. We can make it as a trip, a university trip to some of these companies to have one-on-one discussions with them. GSU as a unit can even find a time and go to UNIDO. You want to have some discussion with them and see what they do and what they can offer for students in the university. I must emphasize that as a country, so many opportunities are available in various sectors: ICT, health, tourism, agriculture, education, housing, infrastructure, and oil and gas. Critically, we need to explore and find the requisite requests for these sectors and how best we can seek for the simple, affordable technologies that could allow us to delve into operations in the sectors and create roles that create economic values for the sectors. Thank you very much for your attention. And I hope as you get along, many of you will come together and put resources together to create something, a value home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Youngson. I gathered that information, so I think the next actionable thing for us to do is to ask questions. Yeah, so we'll take just a few questions because our time is far gone. So if you have a question, unmute yourself and stop your video and ask.
Everyone, my name is Fidelis. Abu immediate past secretary of GSU. I'm sure many will be seeing for the first time. Yeah. So mine is a statement, and it has to do with the imports and the fact the trade deficit between Ghana and Japan. If you're looking at it, I think that we bring in more than we take out from Japan. And so my concern is attempts by our government to, as it is, restrict the importation of vehicles, as you rightly indicated. Out of the 150 something million dollars that we import from Japan, about I think 90 something percent is vehicles, isn't it?
Moving vehicles that passenger can sit in.
Exactly. So and then all those vehicles from Japan are right hand. Now I see, as a trade person at the embassy, I see that the decision to want to ban them from coming to Ghana is way back a lazy man's approach to this whole thing. Why don't we look at bringing companies from Japan or getting our technical universities to be able to technically convert these cars in Ghana to meet standard? Because that would even increase the number of cars that can come to Ghana. Because if you say the conversion of these cars in Ghana are not the major reasons why they get the accidents. I mean, we've all seen how these cars, sprinters, when they came, accidents were happening. Then if you remember, this 18 condemned, right? How did they get the name 18 condemned? It got the name 18 condemned because of the speed and accidents they were having. And so if we're deciding to, again, do a policy to limit the inflow of right-hand vehicles that comes to Ghana, and looking at these trade deficits, I mean, we might be targeting these trade issues, but it also come along with other issues. Again, I mean, the Japanese government might want to look at the kind of support they give us if this thing drops further, isn't it? So for me, I think that I mean, I'm sure your voice will be heard. You have a better opportunity to assess those who make decisions. That look, instead of us looking at this problem and just being addressing it by abandoning it, no, it's a whole value chain. We can get technical universities to enhance their ability to do these conversions. Of course, those that do the conversions, if you look at them, they are not any properly educated people, but they're doing it right. All right. So we can I can ask our TVET system, our technical universities, and then companies from Japan to go to Ghana and do it right. You know what happens if we check again the trade between Dubai, I mean the Emirates and Ghana, most of the trade pass through Japan. So now people they buy the stuff from Japan, take it to Dubai, and they do the same conversion, and then take it to Ghana, and then we are all right by that. You see? No,
Okay, so the policy itself is not only on Japanese cars, it's also on the left-hand cars. But what they intend doing is removing the right hand, because according to the GSA guy, when they did that policy to restrict right-hand drive, there was a clause that you cannot even bring in right-hand drive anywhere into Ghana. But you know, is that law even working? Is that clause even working? It's not working. And from my perspective, circumstance that led to the creating of that law is not in the same era that we are in now. You could go to Ghana and then you meet a trotro that is polluting the whole of Accra. You smoke. And can you compare those cars to even these cars that go to Ghana? No. So I told them that if that thing comes up, we are going to create a lot of job deficiencies, not only in Japan, but also in Ghana. So they should look at it critically. So what you are going to do is that, like, if you are in Dubai, you are in US, and you are exporting a car to Ghana, there's a pre-inspection to see whether the whole. So what is our DVLA doing? Because this is the work of a DVLA. Am I lying?
And this issues about the right-hand drive coming to Ghana is not the first time. I think the concern has been with the boxes. And as usual, as Ghanaian as we are, usually we just, when it's an issue, there's noise about it. We just go and we panic and then we reactive to issues. You know, the concern is that going forward, I mean, there are people who are policy makers also amongst us here. That look, we can use that to enhance the capacity of our people. We don't have jobs, and we are canceling things.
It's the same thing I told the guy. It's the same thing.
I mean, you don't have jobs. I mean, you can. I mean, the Care University, Mechanical Engineering Department of Care University, other universities can. What is this? People have not gone to school. They know the mechanical engineering. They're able to change these cars.
Yeah.
The cars that go from Japan to Ghana that are right-handed that are changing. Few of them get accidents. So why don't we then empower our schools to be able to do it properly instead of going the lazy-man approach? A Chinese man won't
We
do that.
can even approach the Toyota people here, and then they can give us some of their experts
To train people.
train people, or to build schools, to build infrastructures. That we can go there specifically to do
Train
this.
people on this.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, thank you for the time. I'm grateful. Yeah, Freak.
Pop son. Hi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Hi.
Yes, we can hear you.
Question before I go to my my questions. Please, I wanted to know at the embassy if there is any sector or any desk that deal with let's say power, energy, and also like water and environment, please. Because my question is going to lie on these two topics.
It depends on what you want to use this fund for, whether you want to invest into it, whether you want to trade, whether you want to, there's so many aspects. What you are saying, water, energy, there are so many aspects of it. So do you want to trade? Do you want to invest? Do you want to manufacture? Which we as an embassy can help you depending on the kind of help that you need. Whether
Okay.
you want to engage with some investors already in Ghana doing this and you want to collaborate with them, or you want to push this investment to Ghana yourself.
Okay. All right then.
So
Okay. Let me go to my questions. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nanayo Pop from Jafric Radio. I have been in Japan for 37 years. And with my experience and what I've done here in Japan, I'm trying to put Ghana, Africa on the map through media. So my first question, well, I was born in Medina, Accra. And since I was a little boy, we've been having problem with our powers, like electricity. In Ghana, we call it light. Light off here, light off there, light off every day. And last week, I will say, I have the privilege with Jafric Radio interviewing or doing a documentary on one of the Ghana students here in Japan from the Yamanashi University, in the person of he don't want me to call him doctor, but I always call him Dr. Eric. This gentleman and there's another gentleman called okay, I would just okay, not Nee, but okay, Eric. He is studying on hydrogen power. And this hydrogen, when I went there, with his professor and what they were doing, I learned that this particular how do I call it, study or project can help Ghana in terms of power or electricity. And what I'm trying to, the reason why I'm bringing this topic is this. With all these students that are coming here in Japan or to the diaspora, some of them came here on their own. Some of them came here as, they're from saying under scholarship. And these guys are really doing their best to bring something better to our motherland. And as with Mr. Eric or Dr. Eric, his project, what he is doing. I had the chance to talk to him one or two. There is nothing that he has proposed a lot of what he is doing to the government of Ghana, but the ministries over there are not doing nothing. So, as an embassy here, you guys are trying to help these students here in Japan. I know. What can you guys do so that their voices will be heard or hear, or heard in the ministries or in the mpanyinfo aban no mu no na ade na nkwada we sua wa ha no abeye benefit amaye my Ghana, because what these guys are studying here, daddy, it's not easy. It's going to help Ghana, and Ghana, this is what we need. So I'll be very happy and humbly, ahombrasimu, Mr. Say, you guys should stand on your feet, Mr. Your friend say, Mr. Doe, Mr. Gaba, Mr. Isaac, and all those people in the embassy. Let's help these students with what they are learning to develop our country. We cannot take this country as our country. No, they are here to learn, and they are learning good, they are learning better. And what they are learning, I'm just repeating the same thing, but this is on my heart. Because what I saw with this, my two naked eyes, is going to bring Ghana on a better position. That's one. And two, with our water problems, our water bodies that has been has been destroyed by this galamsey has been destroyed by this galamsey materials that they are using. The mercury no mu use too much gold no mu dia say yensuo bebre no. Yamanashi Daigaku here, Yamanashi University here, they are doing some research. This research can also help our nation to bring our lovely water back to what it used to be. Professor K, Ishida K, is it Ishida K? Yeah. He has developed some medium machine or whatever. And this machine can bring in poto to a drinkable water. And he has been to Ghana. I think he's going to Ghana. So please do your best and collaborate well with these students. See what they are doing, and it will be very beneficial to our nation, Ghana. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry that I was I was over my I can't say my voice or whatever. So this is what is on my hat, and I want our embassy to help these students that are here studying. Mesante Bakubi Apopobibri. In Ghana, we don't boo Apopobibri. They can get power from Apopobibri. Yes.
What is Apopobibri?
Fantini wouldn't Apopobibri. Means we name no brofum.
That's it, wait, no, that's me.
Okay.
Oh, Sparrowjara.
That green thing, if you step on it, then it will slip on we can use that thing to generate Ghana. I mean electricity, power, and a lot of things. Into Misremo. Mikoto via the form mensa de mensa yem mama yem buang korei na omum peja Ghana and could do baby for my Nyabin Shra Ghana. Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Pop. So this has been a very, very fruitful discussion. I'm sure there's a lot more that we could talk about, but time would not permit us. So I think in summary, it is very important to connect. So if you are here and you know someone who is not connected to the GSU, the embassy, kindly prompt them to connect. There are so many ways that we can connect through our social media just even if you don't know anything, just ask a friend, and the person probably would direct you to the appropriate quarters. Thank you so much for joining.
Madam, please, before you go, Africa Radio, these are the reasons why we are here with the students. It's a very good opportunity for us to seek guidance or some opportunities with some of the companies in Ghana and some of the agencies like the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. It depends on when they bring these things, we also try to promote whatever they bring to us. And we sort of also go along with them to assist them in merging with some of the other people in Ghana who are also into the same kind of thing. So I will ask them that they should come, they should bring it, and we can also guide them to other opportunities in Ghana where they can meet who they want to meet. Sometimes when you go alone, it becomes a problem. When it's from here, at the ministerial level, we can work things out for them to meet who they want to meet. With the hydrogen power, we've also visited some companies in Fukushima. They are also producing these things. But some of these things also have their side effects. It's the popsan. It's something that is they are producing. And this thing has become very popular because of the tsunami that happens sometimes. They want to try and move from that kind of power into other power that can help build the economy. So we are aware of some of these things. So if a Ghanaian is into it, just let him come to the embassy. Let's try and work together and then put things in the right perspective. So please guide them and let them come and let's work together.
Thank I think you are up. Yeah, if you have announcements, yes. And
Dr. Kwame, please take over.
Grain would be having that pitching session. Grain will be having a pitching session during the symposium on 8th August. In connection to that, we have two innovation sessions where would be helping people translate their ideas from research to innovation or from research to use it in Ghana. We'll have one session in June and another session in July. For June, the session would be held on 28th June. That's 2 weeks from now, Sunday, 28th June. So please join. It would be focused on research, innovation, and systems thinking, how you can identify the problems, think in some systematic, structured way, and translate those research ideas into solution pathways, just as Mr. Yankson and Minister for Education, Mr. Gaba, have all talked and hinted on. So then we can see our best to help Ghana and help our societies. Thank you very much.
And so we are encouraging each and every one to get involved, especially if you find yourself in Ghana, hopefully this year around August. It's something that you can actually get yourself into, because we are hoping that that will serve as a drive for the youth, create opportunities for the youth in the area of education, in the area of investment, business, and other things. So there are a lot of youth from here, Japan, who are going to Ghana to network and also, see if there are opportunities in Ghana and all that. So I also want to bring this to the floor so that we know that there's something like that also ongoing.
So kindly fill it for us and help us to improve programs. Thank you very much. Papa, please take over.
Lord Master Jesus, we thank you for this meeting. We thank you for everyone coming. We thank you for everything that has been shared. We ask that you give us wisdom and let us know how to apply it. We thank you for the life of every single person here today. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen.
Thank
Week and see you on the 28th of June. Bye.
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 Established in the year 1995, the Jospin Group of Companies has become a major source of innovation and sustainability across Africa. The group is dedicated to driving development across diverse sectors and has 76 subsidiaries with the vision of being the most successful holding company and a mission of improving the lives of people. The subsidiaries are categorized into 8 dynamic clusters to provide focused and efficient operations. The Environment and Sanitation Primary Cluster, the cornerstone of our operations. This cluster is vital for effective waste management and sanitation services across Africa. Leading this charge is Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, the largest waste management company in West Africa. From public cleansing to waste collection and transportation, we prioritize maintaining clean, healthy public spaces and promoting sustainable living. Our waste collection services span residential and commercial sectors, employing cutting-edge technology and skilled personnel for efficient, eco-friendly operations. Emerging from this foundation is the Environment and Sanitation Processing Cluster. Key companies like Integrated Recycling and Compost Plant, IRECOP, Accra Compost and Recycling Plant, ACAP, Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant, KCOP, engage in sorting waste into organic, plastic, and combustible materials. Sewerage Systems Ghana Limited treats and transforms wastewater into usable components. From these, we produce compost, recycled plastics, and alternative fuels, and enhancing resource efficiency. This cluster is also home to our unique medical waste facilities, which uses a microwave technology to process medical waste, safeguarding public health and safety. Others include Zoil Services, Dredge Masters, and Zoomlion Waste Transfer Stations. Our waste-to-energy initiatives focus on harnessing advanced technologies to transform municipal solid waste, organic waste, and other biodegradable materials into renewable energy sources such as electricity and heat. By capturing methane from waste decomposition and reducing landfill dependency, we are significantly lowering greenhouse gas emissions while promoting energy self-sufficiency across Africa. The Technical and Logistics Cluster encompasses businesses involved in manufacturing, automobile services such as sales and servicing of heavy-duty and light-duty vehicles, and logistical operations. It also supports sectors such as ports and logistics services. It further undertakes industrial and logistical activities, ensuring seamless service delivery across multiple sectors. Commercial and Allied Services Cluster is skilled in customer-facing operations, which includes multimedia and hospitality services. By providing a comprehensive suite of services, it enhances operational efficiency and supports the group's diverse business activities. In here, we have companies such as AH Hotel and Conference, with unique setting for any local and international meetings. KNUST Africa Institute of Sanitation and Waste Management, which is a capacity building initiative in collaboration with KNUST, as well as Appointed Time Printing Limited, leading in cutting-edge technology in printing services, including corrugated packaging initiatives. A media group, Ignite Media, which is made up of Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM. The Financial Services Cluster provides a comprehensive range of financial solutions supporting the group's diverse financial needs. Key companies include Omnibisic Bank, Millennium Insurance for General Insurance, Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, Kimpton Trust for Pensions Trust, Union Capital for Venture Capital, and other investments and various digital payment platforms. This cluster offers financial stability and growth opportunities, underpinning the group's broad array of business activities. Information and Communications Technology Cluster focuses on three main areas: device assembly, software development and data science, fintech and cybersecurity. The group aims to become the business efficiency solutions provider in Ghana. Agriculture and Agribusiness Cluster focuses on reinforcing agricultural productivity and food security. African Agribusiness Consult, AAC, the key player in this cluster, is predominantly involved in the cultivation of rice and other grains, alongside various other farming activities. By leveraging advanced agricultural techniques, this cluster collaborates with scientists from various institutions to enhance crop yields and quality, contributing significantly to food security in the region. The Property and Real Estate Cluster addresses the growing demand for housing and infrastructure, involved in developing innovative real estate projects that enhance living and working environments. This cluster ensures sustainable and resilient urban growth, meeting the needs of modern urbanization. International operations underscores our ambition to expand across Africa and beyond, with footprints in Asia and America, driving global partnerships and international business development. The Jospon Group of Companies is dedicated to driving sustainable development and innovation across Africa. As we continue to grow, we remain steadfast in our commitment to making a positive impact on society and the environment.
Jospon Group of Companies, fostering sustainable development through partnership.
Welcome to Royalty. Welcome to Adosu Royal Hotel, located at New Pomo, Akosombo. Nestled in the heart of New Pomo, Akosombo, where the river flows and the breeze whispers peace, lies a sanctuary of comfort, elegance, and love. Adosu Royal Hotel. The moment you arrive, you are not just a guest, you are a family. At Adosu Royal Hotel, love is abundant and every detail is designed with you in mind. A beautiful room with a view of the Volta River, clean cribs bedding, and a local decor. Relax in our spacious air conditionings. Wake up to the serene views and the sounds of nature. And yes, sumptuous breakfast, always with a smile. Whether it's business, romance, or a weekend escape, Adosu Royal Hotel has the space, the taste, and the grace. Come home to royalty. Adosu Royal Hotel, Akosombo, where love meets luxury. Contact us on 0242 980453 or 020 813 7933. You can send us email at adosuroyalhotel2@gmail.com. Thank you.